Today's question is how to become a passive real estate investor. And the person answering this question is a former Major League Baseball player, Chicago Cubs, the world famous David Bote, now famous for being a real estate mogul. David, how do you become a passive real estate investor?
To become a passive real estate investor, I mean, it's simple as it sounds, is you sit at home and you collect paychecks.
Hey, that's the way to do it.
That's literally
easy.
That's literally what I'm doing.
Easy button.
And how you do it is a little tricky, or is not as tricky, but it sounds tricky. And you use your money to work for you. And I like to do it in the real estate world, the real estate business of owning properties, owning land, liquid assets that are right there that create revenue as well as appreciate. And so other than doing something like the stock market or anything like that, where one, that's bought at full price. When we do our deals here, I mean, you always buy at a discount. We're always buying a deal. You know, we're buying a deal. So we're walking into a deal with already making money.
And full disclosure, we have been partners doing deals for a while, long time.
8 years?
8 years, something like that.
Something like that.
So full disclosure, we do deals together.
Yes.
But like when we started talking about like you becoming a passive investor with us, what were some things that you said, yeah, this makes sense, this is why I want to do this, versus some other opportunities? I mean, you're a big league ball player.
Right.
Guys kept, I guarantee you, people kept coming to you saying, you've got money, let's figure out how to separate you from that money. What made it decide to say, you know what, let's go do deals the way Hovis does deals?
I liked the flexibility of I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
It was like I was able to be as involved or not involved as possible. So like the fact that we could go into a deal working with you and Hovis Capital, just being able to go, hey, this is what I want my money to go to. And then like you and your people went and found the places, rehabbed the places, got the tenants in, turnovers, all the things, taxes, all like my tax guy loves you. Like he goes, I love your tax, like your real estate guy. Cause the taxes that we get, like he goes, it's so like clear, concise. And it's like the headache for me is zero. Like I don't have to worry about anything. Like I said, I just sit at home and collect paychecks. And it's just like, it's the best thing. You
get that monthly ACH dropped right into the bank account. You get the statement saying, here's where all the money went to, and you get to go play
golf.
Golf now. Golf now. As that passive investor, right? And what made it, we actually went to some of the houses. We've got some in Memphis and in St. Louis.
And Mississippi. What
was your impression when you first went to some of these houses?
Well, the first house that we got was already kind of rented out, but the first one we rehabbed, I remember you sent the video and you're like, don't be alarmed.
Yeah.
You're like, don't be alarmed. It's going to look rough. And it was. Like it was, I think it was a hoarder house. Like it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And you said, like, trust me, like we'll get this thing turned around. And we're like, all right, cool. Like it's, right neighborhood, right price, like all the things that checked off our list that you look for in a passive house. And then I think, 6 months, not even 6 months later, like you showed me the pictures. And I think that we even actually, when I was in Memphis, we went to that one and it was like beautiful. Like the floors were great. It was nice and bright and open. We got new roof, new HVAC, all the things. Like it was like, you want to create a space where people want to live in.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, that's what you did. And like, I'm from a hoarder house to like a really nice.
So in your initial perspective, if I remember, you're like, wow, this is nicer than I thought it would be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And part of the reason for that is we're buying in B and C type neighborhoods. We're trying to find a house that someone wants to live in long term. Nothing against people who invest Section 8 type situation, but that's just not our model, right? And so we're buying in nicer areas. So when you first started talking to me and my team and whatever, what made it so that you said, you know what, I think this is the plan that I want to work with versus other options for you?
Yeah, being a renter, especially in the minor league life, and my wife and our family, we've lived in probably 100 different places and homes and apartments and houses and Airbnbs and whatever you have it, like all of it, like short-term, long-term, furnished, unfurnished. So like we understand the rental side of
real estate.
On both sides, on the ownership side and on the renter side. And I've learned that like as a renter and as a rental house, people don't take care of it as well as, you know, you would at your own house. And so it's like that finding that balance of like making it quality. Cause like I've lived in places where like they knew that the renters destroy it, so it's just poor quality, and they keep it that way, and it's gross, and it's like, well, I don't want to live here, and so then it's like, I think that turnover is so quick when people don't enjoy where they're living, and so then if we lived in a place where it's like, hey, like this is really nice, like it's not every bells and whistle that you want in your home, like you're trying to, you know, all the things that you would want, but like as a renter, like, hey, good floors. You know, it's clean. Hey, it's like appliances that work and
things
HVAC that work. Yeah, it's like I'm in Iowa and it's 100 degrees and the humidity through the roof, like I want an AC that works. Or like in Arizona in spring training, we couldn't get a second level because the downstairs was so cold and the upstairs was so hot. And so it's like you try to like figure all these things out. So when working with you guys, like you put in quality stuff. Like we put in nice stuff that people would take care of, that you would want to take care of. Like when you go to a place and you're living in a spot where it's light, care, you know, things that work, like you're going to want to keep it that way, especially if it's a long-term tenant, like they're going to want to keep it because they also like to live there.
And with the strategy that we're using where we're trying to help these tenants be able to buy the houses. Yeah. We try to rehab the houses clean, safe, functional, and slightly upgraded. So we are throwing like the houses that we just finished. Yep. Both of them have granite countertops on them. Both of them have hardwood floors. Both of them are to that end buyer wanting to live there long term. Now, our method of real estate, I imagine as you've been in the clubhouse talking to the guys, they see your statements, they see me making a phone call and being like, oh yeah, I got to wire X amount to this deal.
Yep.
What do some of the guys that you've played ball with, other high net worth guys, what do they say about this strategy and you know, just tell me about those conversations.
Surprisingly enough, we have that conversation a lot. We had that a lot, especially with a handful of guys and other guys more so than others and trainers and players. And because again, like it can happen so fast. Like, you know, you call me, like, hey, give me a call. I'm in Cincinnati and it's raining because it's always raining in Cincinnati. And it's like, we're going to have a rain delay. Yeah. And you're like, give me a call. And I'm going, hey, what's up? And like, I got a deal for you. And I go, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'll send you the information. Let me know if you want it. This is like, I'll say it's Monday. Yeah. Right. And I like say, cool. Like, yeah, it looks good. Let's do it. And then you go, okay, I need the wire information. Let's do it. You know, have it ready by Friday. I'm like, sweet. Let's do it. Let's do it Friday. Yeah. And then like, I come in like, what was that? And I go, oh, I just bought a house. I'm like, what? Like, and they're like, we were like, and then by the time we leave Cincinnati, I'm like, hey, I like got a house, bought a house and we're ready like to turn it over. And like, what? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, I was like, and then like, you know, I call, hey, you know, call my bank. Hey, wire this money over. And then boom, boom, boom. I go, oh, I just bought another house. Yeah. And I go, what? And so then like, why?
What's the closest? I'm just curious because I don't know it from my side. I just send you a text and say, hey, you got a deal. Let me know when you can chat because I want to explain it to you, make sure you understand what's going on with it before we go down there. What's the closest to like game time or like, have you actually done a deal in a rain delay or has it been like, it's usually right before the game.
Usually batting practice. Yeah. Usually send in the morning. Usually send me the text in the morning. The wire gets a little tricky. Sometimes because they have to confirm it, right? So like you know, I send it to the bank and then they call you and they call you to confirm it. And so like I try to like make sure that window because they also close at a certain time. I got batting practice or it's a day game, like in Chicago if we had a day game. Yeah. And like I'm like, hey, can I get the wire in after the game before they?
Because there's a lot of day games in Chicago.
It's almost every day.
Like it's tons of day games. So you're like, what time do you get to the ballpark usually?
On a day game, it was 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And the game doesn't start until what, 1?
1:20.
1:20.
And a night game, I would get to the field at 1.
I have this like vision of like you sitting next to like Anthony Rizzo in the dugout and your phone is right next to you.
Not in the dugout.
And then you go and say, hey, hang on, I got to take this. Oh yeah, let's take it down, Hovis. Boom. All right, I'm up. Like you're on deck.
No, that didn't.
That's not what happened?
No, that's not.
Okay, that's what I was hoping would happen.
That's not what happened.
Okay. So you're doing these deals, you're talking to these guys. How are they approaching their investments? Yeah. And like we've all seen the 30 for 30. Yeah. The broke. Have you seen that?
I've seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you're talking about pro athletes going broke within 2 or 3 years after their playing career's over. In fact, most pro athletes don't even make the type of money that you were able to make, right? Some are much lower than that. Not to say you're this huge, you know, contracts that are out there, but you're standing next to guys who have signed these huge contracts. How are they approaching their passive income investing kind of thing?
The ones with the huge contracts, I couldn't tell you. They do their own thing, and they've got people that work for them and all that stuff. It's
do
different.
They even know?
I would say some do.
Because you're involved. Like you know what's going on.
Yeah, I would say some do.
You've been to the houses. You've seen the stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know how involved other guys are.
On some of that, I wouldn't know. But I mean, there's a couple guys where I'd be like, yeah, you got a good idea of what you're trying to do. And some want to start businesses and do all that and run their thing through that way. A lot of guys that were interested in like the real estate side would always question me why I did cash deals. Growing up in my family background, like debt caused us a lot of problems.
Okay.
And so like there was like just like with like adjusted rates and all those things and just like with the volatility that the market and Fed rates and all those things that can have on you, like it just really like turned me off of debt. I would do anything to stay out of debt, like just my background. And so then they're all like, why would you spend it $160,000 cash deal? Why don't you, finance it and do that over 3 houses and, down payment here, down payment here, down payment here. And then I was like, well, because I'm still paying interest and mortgage on that. I was like, I don't want to pay. Like, I want that money to just go into the house and then I collect the check. Like, well, you can make more and probably, maybe. Well, maybe not.
One issue, like we had a house that we were about ready to lease up this year.
Yeah.
One of our deals.
Yep.
2 weeks before, we get a frozen pipe in Memphis, floods the house. We're dealing with insurance. We're dealing with all this kind of stuff.
Right.
If you had a note against that,
correct, I have to pay it.
You're paying it. The bank doesn't care that
nobody's paying the rent.
Right. The bank doesn't care.
Right.
And so people don't get that risk. Everyone wants to leverage. The other part is when you are leveraging, the banks will only limit that amount. Right.
That your debt to income ratio, everything, all of that.
Correct.
Right.
Do you think very many of the guys in your position are learning, like you just used a phrase, debt to income ratio. You know what that means.
Right.
Like a lot of these guys, I don't know, help me understand. Do guys who are the pro athletes, whatever, are they concerned about their personal finances as much as you are? Because like you're able to articulate why you're not leveraging and why you're going with the wealth formula and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like those guys are in that boat typically? I know we're doing generalizations, but like, do they care or are they just saying, no, I'm just going to play ball and let everybody else deal with what?
Yeah. I think you do hear both sides of that story because like you hear like, I'm going to let somebody else deal with it. And then you got to trust that guy and you got to be able to believe that they're doing their due diligence and working with it and doing the way you want it to be done. But I mean, that also brings in like you don't know.
And with us, like I made it so that you didn't have to trust me. And the reason is we own the entity that
together.
Owns the house.
Right.
So there is no like, hey, give me money. Hopefully this works out.
Right.
You're putting it to the title company.
Yep.
They're closing it.
Yep.
We own the entity. You can literally Google it and be like, yep, I own that house and it traces back to me this way. Yep. So I think that's a big deal when you're talking about passive investors. Yep. People want to be passive investors, but I say it all the time. They care more about a return of their money than a return on their money. You ought to anyway.
Yep.
So I don't know if some of the alligator arms, and I don't know if they have alligator arms, or it's just different priorities. Like you watch that film Broke 30 for 30, and it's people don't recognize that when you get that big contract, you don't get all of that money.
Right. Well, I want to touch on that, but before that, you also was reminded like the thing where the hesitation for some of these guys are, at least my perception is they want to get rich quick, or they want their money, like they want a 20% return. Now.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss the next episode. Every week, we drop practical money strategies and real stories that'll change the way you think about wealth.